I see companies like Uber or WeWork that are valued as, $10 billion companies or whatever they are at any given time. And they're always like cash flow negative, right? They're always losing money.
I told the WeWork's crew here in New York, having met with them many times, they were a lot of the people working there were very entrepreneurial. I said, you are a zero, and you're going to zero with a bullet, because that old game, that structure, that kind of company has been tried before twice. Once in England, once here. It always goes to zero, because what you're basically doing is taking long-term debt obligations to either lease or buy a building, and then you're providing short-term leases to some really shitty companies that don't make any money. Like, let's paint the wings of a butterfly.com. And you're going to rent that to them.
I'm interested in investing in Let's Paint the Wings. That sounds pretty cool. Is that like you stand in front of it for an Instagram picture?
But my point is, you have a whole building full of crap companies that don't make money, and you have to keep paying your mortgage off. So eventually, when there's a downturn in the economy, you go to zero because you can't pay for the buildings. Now, in the case of WeWorks, because they had such a huge investor, it lost so much, they had to do another round of refinancing. But believe me, they're going to restructure that company. It is a disaster on wheels.
So you walked into their offices and you told them straight to their face, you're a zero.
Yep.
So are you ever not a dick?
No, I'm just telling the truth. I'm the only shark that tells the truth. If you want to do kumbaya and worry about
Tell us which ones do kumbaya. Break them down for us. Break down each shark.
To my right is Barbara. To my left is Lori. And they're kumbaya all day long. But they'll not, they'll say, look, you keep going, keep wasting your family's money. It's a dog of an idea, but I'm not going to invest in it. But you keep going. I don't want to hurt your feelings. I say that idea is a piece of shit, and it's going to zero, and you're going to bankrupt your family. Do you want the truth or not? If you can't handle me, wait till the real world gets you. It's going to bite you in the hiney, because in business there's no gray. You either make money or you lose it. Pick one. And there's, oh, I'm hurting their feelings. I don't care about their feelings. I care about their money. I'm trying to help them. I'm the only shark that really cares about you. The rest are disingenuous, and they lie to people all day long.
What about Cuban? Mark doesn't lie to people. He tells you the truth.
We don't agree on anything, and that's okay, because we haven't agreed on anything in 11 years.
Right.
He's always doing, tiny equity deals. I think is nuts. Frankly, Mark is now moving towards my structures, and I feel I should invoice him for the education he's received from me.
He turned down. I actually offered him a licensing deal. We had Mark on about a month ago. 5 years ago, I was in front of him. I gave him a licensing deal. He could license 10% of my brain for the rest of time. He gets money off of it for $1 million. He turned it down. My brain. Here's what the million is gonna pay for. Let me just at least go through what the million is gonna pay for. Food, I obviously need to eat. Housing, gambling debts, both past and future. Dogs, I have one dog right now, I'd like to at least get to 5. Dessert, because I like to eat dessert, candy and whatnot, and I'm throwing in Hank. That guy right there. All right. Seriously though, you want to you can have my brain for, you name the price.
But have you noticed, as the years have rolled on, that everybody wants to do licensing deals? Who invented licensing deals on Shark Tank?
You invented it.
There's only one guy, Mr. Wonderful, and now all the other sharks are grasshoppers. They're learning from Mr. Wonderful.
So what's your next move to get in front of them?
I'm always going to have a license deal, because I love the cash flow. Repeat that. Cash flow. Let that roll off your lips. Cash flow.
Okay.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah.
And then now I go for a little equity, a little taste, a little wet my beak of equity.
There we go. Wet the beak.
Yeah.
So
wet the beak.
If you woke up tomorrow morning, you had $0 in your bank account.
Yeah.
Big fat zero. No checks coming in the mailbox.
That would be a very bad outcome.
It would be bad, because that's no cash flow.
That sounds like a WeWorks to me.
It does, yeah.
And everyone would tell you the truth about what they think of you.
I would be like, you're broke. You're broke as shit.
Yeah.
Broke as a joke.
What's your first move if you have $0 in your bank account?
Well, I'm a salesman. I'd get right back out of bed, get my ass out of bed, and start selling something. That's all I've ever done my whole life. I'm sales and marketing, baby. That's what I do. And I think it's the hardest job in the world, because every month you start at zero yet again. Yeah. And I tell all the great saleswomen and men I work with, because if I'm going to buy a company, I don't go meet the CEO first. What I do, here's my strategies. I roll into town. I say, who's the guy or gal running sales? Who's running the sales show here? I want to take him up for dinner, and we're going to drink some wine. If you want to find the truth out about a business, you meet the person running sales, and they know where all the skeletons are. They know what's working. They know what isn't. You find out so much, and then after that, and maybe 3 or 4 bottles of wine, the next day I go meet the CEO and say, listen, I had dinner with your head of sales. I have some questions for you. And if that guy doesn't know the answer, or a woman who's ever running that company doesn't understand what I know about their company from the sales side, as soon as I get control of that company, I fire the CEO.
Ooh.
Because if you don't understand the pulse of a business, which is sales, by the day, by the month, by the year, you don't know what's going on.
Has there ever been a time where you did that, but the salesperson was so good, they sold you on something that wasn't real?
No, because great salespeople have one thing. It's called consistency. When they give you a quarterly target and they hit it consistently, you can't BS sales. You either have the sales or you don't. So the most coveted salespeople, and anybody listening to this that's in sales understands this, are the ones where the CEO or the people above them can rely on what they say. So if they say, look, boss, I think I can bring in $5 million this quarter, the CEO then takes the resources required to get that $5 million and deploys it, puts it at risk. And if the salesperson misses, that's a bad business decision. So you need salespeople that are consistent. I've been doing this forever. I've got 50 plus portfolio companies, and I know the ones that are good at forecasting sales and the ones that can't. But salespeople are gold. They are the essence of American business.
Ooh.